and there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only. All right, so I realize it's kind of late, and that's okay. I'm coming on to do this podcast because I went through and read all the Q drops, and I'll keep it short tonight, but I went through and read all the recent Q drops, and there's a definite change in the pulse or the message, what have you. There's definitely an uptick in the Q drops. So stay tuned. Q is not talking so much so in code anymore, not so much code. Definitely speaking more directly while leaving drops that most of us have heard before. Something very interesting, I thought, was tonight with President Trump and his El Paso, where he came out and had his rally. Man, for those of you, and that includes me, that have been following the Q drops, there were so many things that were dropped tonight that just solidified Q and the movement and the Great Awakening and the storm, all of it. It's all been very much confirmed. And I guess as you watch the social media pages and you see what people are posting about the Q drops, you're going to start to see it more and more. But you guys, there was definitely a narrative shift in what's going on with the Q drops. There was silence for a long time, and that was through the shutdown of the government. That was designed to bring light to the border wall, or at least to put a flashlight or a spotlight on the Democrats, if you will. That's what it is. It's a spotlight. And now Q's back, and Q's back hard. Now the president tonight in El Paso just said so many awesome things. Too many that I can't talk like specifically about them, but hey, Headless, what's up? Too many things that just, I mean, when you're in the know, when you know what's up, and then you hear the president talk like he did. Hey, Joe Mama. It was incredible. I mean, I loved the State of the Union address. I loved it. But compared to tonight in El Paso, it was not even close. Not even close. But mainly that's what I wanted to come on and talk about. What I would say is definitely buckle up. We're in the next phase of whatever is about to happen. And I don't think it's going to be bad for us. I think we're safe. I think we are relatively safe, but nonetheless safe. You're starting to see a lot of projection out of the left, a lot of projection. Not just the people that are throwing their hat in the ring, like Elizabeth Warren and all the others. Cory Booker, there's like 20 of them. By the time this all shakes out, there's probably going to be 30 or 40 of them putting their hat in the ring. Probably. We'll see. But these are the people, a lot of them, that are going to be the loudest. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Maxine Waters announces she's going to run for president. And it's because these people that are like Adam Schiff, these people are, they're going to be the loudest because they are the most guilty. There's nobody that can be so ignorant that they could run on the Democrat Party while knowing that all of us are awake to their shenanigans, to what's been going on, to human trafficking, to everything that we know that involves a great awakening. We've known forever in life and society that there's dirty politicians. We've known this forever. And there are dirty politicians and always have been. We just didn't understand the magnitude of which they were operating under. We had no clue about that. We thought, you know what? It's 10%. There's 10% shit in every, industry in the earth. Whatever. Every line of work, the 10% are shit. Well, we didn't understand that whatever percentage of shit it was operating under a cabal, a satanic cabal that was operating under the guise of fascism and then socialism. And that's what they were trying to bring to our country. All I can tell you is that regarding what I just said is the Q drops that came out tonight and yesterday, actually. I mean, they're flooding, and they're not really that much in code. It's almost like Q. It's not almost like, it is like Q is giving a question and it's an absolute answer. Q is talking about, indictments, people going down. If it goes this way, if it goes that way, it's going to go down, and it's happening. So it is. So what I'll say is that if you haven't heard President Trump's rally in El Paso tonight, you have to watch it. And really, there's all kinds of pieces of the speech that confirm Q and the whole plan. There's so many times that he's talking and you understand that he's speaking to the people, but that he's really speaking to the anons, which I'm not an anon, but I have a very, 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 very small piece in the Great Awakening, very small, but he's speaking to the awake. That's who he's speaking to. Hey, Petra, that's who he's speaking to. And it was amazing, actually. His speech in El Paso was like one of the most amazing things. And there's so much information that he says that he has said in past rallies. But that's not the parts of the speech that I am excited about. It was the nuances within the speech where you could tell that as a truther, he was speaking to you or me or anybody else that's awake. And it was there, and it was good. It was really, really, really good. And there were protesters there. How could there not be? Beto O'Rourke was having a rally like a quarter mile away. And I heard it was atrocious that he had like two people. Not two people. He had like 200 people, not two people. But that not only were there 8,000 to 10,000 people in the arena that President Trump was speaking at, there were at a minimum anywhere from 10 to 20,000 people outside in the overflow who had signed up to get in. That's insane. It's absolutely insane. All right, let's go to you guys. Who's here? I see Petra. I see Joe Mama. I see Headless, but I see two people. Who's here? What's going on? Oh, I see Petra. You're waving. I see what that is. All right, so I'll see if you guys type anything. That's all right. If you don't, that's okay. I wasn't planning on going like real late, but here I am. I'm late, so I'm okay. Thanks, Joe Mama. I'm glad you're still here. And Petra chimed in. No, not so much. I didn't think that. But now that you've said it, how dare you, ma'am? How could you do that to me? I'm just a patriot. I don't know. I'm a night guy. Joe Mama, I'm a night guy. I stay up late. That's sweet of you. Thanks, Petra. I appreciate that. I'm gonna be going on late probably every night, Joe Mama. Oh, you're driving? Okay, Headless. All right, cool. Well, I'm glad you're here. You're driving home from work. Hopefully, you don't have too long of a drive. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. I know. I don't know. Sometimes I just gotta get stuff done. I don't know. I probably could have went on at 1:30. Yeah, it's almost 3:40 here, Petra. Now, normally in my defense, Joe Mama will back me up. I normally go on earlier than this, or whatever. I guess I haven't gone on that much lately, but yeah, I think I kind of put that 1:30 to 2 marker out there. That might be yeah. You know what? I can push for 2 o'clock tomorrow. I'll try to do 2 a.m. So I know that some of you came in a little later after I originally went in. There was nobody watching, so I just like went into what I wanted to talk about. And so the meat and potatoes of the live stream is actually probably in the first like 2 or 3 minutes of what I was talking about, where I was correlating Q and President Trump's El Paso speech tonight, which was incredibly awesome. It was very, very listen, it's not that he's the best speaker in the world. Okay, he's not. It was definitely in the meat and potatoes of the speech, where if you're awake, you like there's things that were said that it was like, yep, all right, we're all on the right track. We are on the right pace. If we are in our lives and trusting the plan, we're doing the right thing. We, because of the things that were said throughout the speech. I don't know. I do know. I don't know why I say I don't know. I do know. I do know. It validated his speech again, validated through all the validation of what's going on, of the entire plan. The entire plan of Q is very clear. It's why I cannot entertain anything that's put out there that just doesn't put its credence into Q. Okay. I'm sorry if you don't. If you don't, you don't. But if you don't, it's because you haven't put the time in and looked at it how it is. It's exactly what it says it is. It's not, Donald Trump was not another 4-year election. He wasn't ever another 4-year election. He was the bull in the china shop and was recruited by the military to run as the president. Why else would he give all this up if he didn't know that the direction of the country was about to fall off the cliff it was already hanging off of? He wouldn't have. That's what's going on. That's what's happening. That's why he ran. He wouldn't give up a multi-billion-dollar company to let it go down in flames, which it's not in flames, but it's like a quarter of the value it was when he ran and decided he was running for president. So it's bad as far as the company's concerned. But what he looked at and was recruited by the military, he looked at, what good will any of this do me if how I built it goes away? What will it do for my children? What will it do for my grandchildren? And so on, and my lineage. And you know what? I think he's probably just moral enough. And who knows what kind of divine intervention came into his life? We don't know. I'm not so pompous to believe that I know anything beyond the existence that I sit here in. There's a lot of stuff I want to believe in. There's a lot that I want to believe in. But who's to say that he wasn't inspired divinely to take on this mission? I mean, this could be what happens when worlds collide. And for whatever reason, his world collided with exactly what we needed at this point in time in history. We needed this. I mean, who's to say exactly where we'd be or what would happen had she gotten into office? But we know at a minimum at this point that her objective for our country was somewhat majorly fucking immoral at a minimum, right? Can we agree on that? I mean, can we agree that had Hillary been in office, it would have been same old as the Obama? I mean, she would have picked up his talking points and she would have put her Hillary spin on him and we all would have groaned. But yet, because there was a deep state functioning behind the scenes, that Hillary would have pulled off being a president, because the deep state would have been the puppeteers as they've been. And yes, Hillary will get respect. And yes, all we have to do is Madam President, and we get you in here, and we you know, you just parrot our talking points. That's what she would have been. Her biggest downfall is that she was about as charismatic as a sandwich. Whatever gene she missed when she was born, the charismatic gene never entered her life ever. And it's probably a gift from God that she was just such a cold, callous person. I don't know. Maybe it's not a gift. You know, maybe she was a really, really sweet young girl, cute, pigtails, this and that, and then eventually she turned sour. I don't know. anything's possible. Doesn't matter. We got to where we got. She ran for president and she had very bad intentions with her very bad intentioned husband, who I voted for twice. Fuck me. But I did. But I'm sorry. Once you wake up, you can't go back to sleep. And when I voted for him and others, I was asleep. I was dead ass asleep. I lived under the illusion that what was going on was a democracy. And I call it that because that's what I thought growing up, despite I was just young enough, or I was just old enough to where when I went through my elementary classes up until about third or fourth grade, we used to say, it's been so long. We used to say the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we'd sing "My Country, 'Tis of Thee." That's what I got hung up on. Was I was trying to remember the song we sang, but we used to do that back to back growing up, and then all of a sudden one day it just stopped, and nobody you leave after third grade, you go for the summer where you forget about everything, especially third going into fourth grade. I mean, get on your bikes and ride, do crazy dumb shit when you're that age. You come back to school and it's not done anymore. You don't question it. You're so bought into the system. It's what they counted on. They counted on it. People don't care. And your parents aren't saying anything like, did you say the Pledge of Allegiance today in school? They're not asking you that. They're busy working, living their lives. They're busy doing that shit. Just like we're busy doing that shit. Except the difference, you guys, is that you're online right now looking for truth. And so many are out there that don't do this. And they're on mainstream television. And I'm not even talking about Fox, because unless you're awake, if you're awake and you listen to the nighttime portion of Fox with, let's just say, Tucker, who I don't watch, not because I don't like him, but I just don't like mainstream television. I usually will at some point in time catch the opening monologue to Hannity. I'm not sure. Oh, Alexa just spoke up. I don't know if you heard her. But and then Laura Ingraham, it depends on who she has. But normally I'm seeking my truth out in other places. So it's, I don't know. Let me check the chat. Yeah. Yeah. If she'd have gotten into office, it'd have been death. It'd have been death. I mean, the rails were coming off America. We were absolutely 100, and we're not out of the woods yet, by the way. But we would have had no chance with her. And it wouldn't just be because of her. It was because of the things that were put into place before she would have taken office. I mean, our manufacturing in America is gone. If you take away manufacturing out of America, you're dead in the water. You're done. And then if you want to take away like energy out of America, you're done. We were being set up for a knockout punch under her watch. And some of you might remember or not. Oh, I did, Brandy. I guess I did. Yeah, so you're here. We were being set up for a knockout punch going into any other presidency except President Trump. We were being set up. Our military was weakened significantly. There were override controls that were implemented into a number of aircraft that were fighter jets. Things that would, if you did X, it did Z and it malfunctioned, and you'd bail out and ditch your airplane, or your jet, or you'd go down with it and unfortunately make the sacrifice. But either way, it was being manipulated from the outside with a certain number of them. This whole plan was implemented. Look at the Georgia Guidestones. Listen, these deep state Satanists, which are on both sides of the aisle and so far beyond political desires. I mean, it's in big companies, big companies. Why so many CEOs stepping down? Why in the last year and a half? The handwriting's on the wall. Child trafficking's ending. The war on like serious drugs that kill your ass. They're done. Those are the things that rob you of your life, are those kinds of drugs. You don't see a war on marijuana, which, whatever. I mean, me, I like having some beers, but, I'm no prude. I know what marijuana does and how it is, and I'm sorry. That's not like taking a fucking snot of cocaine up your nose. And thankfully, I have no idea what it's like compared to heroin or really anything else. But these drugs are killing people, and they're coming in. This was by design, man. This was to kill America. This was to rot America out. First in their minds through television and programming, and next through addictions, to get you addicted to prescription drugs. Listen, I was there. There was a time in my life where I was there and I broke away from it. Thank God I did. Absolutely did. But it was designed as part of their plot to kill America. Because as long as you were medicated and you thought, we're still America, USA, 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 and then one day you come home and they're able to shut the lights out on your prescription drug habit, guess what? You're pretty pliable when that happens. If they tell you to go to this camp or that camp, or go here and do this or do that, and then you'll be able to get this, guess what? You're going. You're going. You're going. You're going to go. It was by design. It's going to get people. Here's the good news. That's not how it's going to go. That's the good news. It's going through President Trump. And as I said, these Q drops point us in the direction that the truth is coming very fast. We are in a countdown at this point. We're in a countdown. We're moving forward. And he is going to have a plan to get everybody off, at least in a better way, their prescription drugs. I mean, half of the reason people are on the prescription drugs to begin with is because of all the illegal drugs that are crossing the border. Or people had a surgery and they picked up a habit. Or people tried it a few times in high school or after high school or in college, and they tried it and they loved it. There's a million different reasons. The problem is that when the doctor was done writing the prescription, there was another doctor readily available with plenty to fill you up and take your money and all that shit. And that's where it all starts and begins and progresses. And then pretty soon, Marxism has taken over. They've done their job. It's rooted through the history of socialism, and communism. It's rooted in, and that's where we were. We were at the pinnacle in America. It was Donald Trump or bust. That's where we are 2 years in. They hate him. They fucking hate him. Why? Watch the El Paso rally tonight. I don't know why they hate him. They hate him because he threatens their entire way of their crap lives. They have horrible lives. A lot of them are blackmailed. But it no matter what their purpose for just killing this man, no matter what their purpose is, it doesn't sway from the facts. The facts of what he's saying, the things that are said in the Q drops. There's no more time to even debate who Q is or what Q is. There's no time to even debate it. We can, but look at the Democrats. Look at how they are just coming apart at the seams. And they have one narrative that they all stick together over. And that's that they say Trump is bad. And all of you and me that agree with him are bad. No, I would say the bulk of us are fed up and have been fed up for a long time. And we're not bad. Are we perfect? Real far from perfect. But do we love our fellow human being in all of this? Yeah, I think so. I think good people like good people. And I think bad people exist. And you know what? They kind of weed themselves out of everything and they go on to do bad things. But that's probably by design, by the great creator. I don't know. I feel like what's going on is divine. It feels like it. I mean, to take down this big of an operation as smoothly as it's gone so far, with over 12 attempts on his life, I think to take down this big of an operation globally, I mean, what percentage of people could pull off and devise a plan that could really go this well? I don't know. Maybe the top less than 1%. And I'm not saying that President Trump is that. I'm saying that whoever hatched this plan and said that Trump's the right guy for it, I'm saying maybe it's Watson. Maybe somebody plugged in and said, how do we take down the deep state? And Watson said, do this, hire Trump, do this, and follow this. And maybe Watson is Q. Probably not, but it's a little hyperbolic. I like hyperbole. It's cool. I don't know. All I can tell you is that the information being dropped right now is very poignant and abundant, and it's coming, and it's in less and less code. And that tells me that we're in a countdown, my friends. And I know that I've said things like we're at 4th and 1 at the 1 and that kind of stuff. But guess what? You know what? I've said it before. The Great Awakening is not for just those of us that think we're awake and we're doing podcasts. Guess what? It's way more detailed than I will ever be on my. If I had 15 brains attached to my head, it's way more detailed even than that. What I happen to be is a little bit awake, a little bit awake and very inquisitive and extremely ordinary. And believe me, I'm as ordinary as like the most unordinary person in the world. But I like talking about conspiracy, and I like this. This is cool. I like this. I like what's going on with the Q movement. I've loved it since it came out. But right now, I feel like it's hit a new gear. It's gone to the next level. Q is talking directly to us. President Trump is talking directly to the people that follow Q in his El Paso rally. The markers are there. It's coming fast, you guys. And I don't think we are going to see really all that much civil unrest. I think the whole part of the Great Awakening was to make, well, there you go. Yeah, to make everybody awake to the deep state corruption, including, I think it's going to be so overwhelming when this is done that even those that wear their pink hats in DC, yes, there'll be small little pockets. They're going to be ready for it. But so many people are going to go, I am just, you can't snowball them anymore. And the left, all 93% of the bad reporting on Trump is going to be exposed to the point where it doesn't matter if you're a leftist and a snowflake. I can't believe I said it like that. But if you're a leftist and a snowflake and you think that you've got something to talk about, people are just going to look at you and just go, no. I mean, it's over. It's over. You're going to see people that are in positions of authority on the left go down, and they're going to go down hard. The whole plan of Q and the Great Awakening, the storm, all of it, it was to create the most tranquil transition out of the horrendous deal we were in life due to the people that sold us out, mainly sold us on the American dream, and then just bled America dry on our ignorance. People would never do that to us. Nah, it ain't happening in our country. We don't know what hundreds of trillions of dollars or any of that looks like. We don't know. We have no idea what it looks like. We're worrying about our bills this month, this year, today. We worry about that stuff. You know, that was a part in the Q drops today, is said, you know, people are so much wired that they worry about today and what's going on in their life. And I get that. Because if you're not awake, that doesn't make you a bad person. It really doesn't. I mean, you're a victim, quite honestly. You're a victim if you're asleep. There's a difference between asleep and willfully ignorant. But I think that willfully ignorant is probably, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15% are willfully ignorant and just continue to go on and do it, which we all have to do, because what are you going to do? Stop working? Stop living? Stop? You're going to be a bum until the Great Awakening happens? No, can't be that. Can't do that. But we have faith if we trust the plan. And everything about the plan has showed us that we're good. It's moving forward. It's going on. It's happening. I don't know. What do you guys think? Who's here? Moonchild. Thanks, Moonchild. Yeah. And it's not just the Democrats, Brandy, but yeah, they're the ones that are getting the spotlight right now. So anyway, I recognize it's late. I understand that. So I don't want to go on anymore before I say something that will make me want to not post the stream. So I'm going to end it so that I post it, because somewhere in this collage of 40 minutes, there's a message or maybe a lesson. I don't know. Anyway, God bless you. Have a good night. See you.